Yes guys, what is up? Welcome to Supercars of London and welcome to the south of France.
It's rather lovely, isn't it?
That's the most ridiculous entrance I think I've ever had. First time in Saint-Tropez and I felt like James Bond.
I've never felt more James Bond. Flying over the bay here and then arriving to this.
Landing in the garden.
Yeah, on the front porch. Yeah.
But, as you haven't already been able to tell, that we are here for the car behind, the McLaren GT. Now, I am incredibly excited about this car. This is the one that I self-proclaimed that I would actually spend my money and go and buy. It is such a beautiful car. Tomorrow we get to drive it. What are you most excited about with that thing?
I think mainly being able to have a McLaren press day and properly get the most out of the car, because last time it was raining, remember? And we were together. It's tradition now that we're together on these McLaren press days. And last time it was raining, so now we're in the sun, and I'm really looking forward to that.
We were in the desert, the Arizona desert, and they get 15 rain days a year.
Yeah, and we got
one of them.
The one of them.
Yeah. So come to the south of France, they said. There are some amazing roads, and this McLaren GT media drive has lasted 14 days so far. The first 10 was 27 to 30 degrees. The next 4 are exactly the same. The one day that myself and Seb are getting to test this car, it is just continual downpour for the entire day. And everyone's looking at me like I'm mad. Seb's behind the camera with his hood up. I'm literally, I don't even know what to say. So I've been looking forward to this particular drive for quite some time. I've been pestering McLaren, being like, please, 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 can I come and be one of the first people to drive this car? Because this is exactly how my driving style is personified in a car. I love doing long distance drives. I love talking about fuel economy in complete comfort and luxury, but having the power, 600 brake horsepower plus 630 Newton meters of torque in this thing. This is the segment leader in terms of performance, weight, compared to the Bentley Continental GT, Aston Martin DB11 and those things. Let's jump in the car, go for a drive. Myself and Seb will have it. Oh, here we go. They look amazing on the road. They are so sleek, and in my eyes, they are the entry-level Speedtail, which is coming from McLaren as the ultimate luxury Hyper GT. So this is McLaren's Super GT. Let's jump in. Let these cars go past. Come on, Renault. And basically just keep dry for the entirety of the video. Are you ready, Seb?
I am ready, Paul.
Well,
Are you ready?
I'm as ready as I'm ever going to be. And there is a little bit of relevance to being down in the south of France for this drive, even though the weather is absolutely atrocious. Because the last time that I was carving my way through these roads, I was in a Bentley Continental GT-C.
That's very true. Literally around here.
Exactly.
Yes.
So to be out here in McLaren's GT car, their out-and-out GT car. This is a car that fits in a new segment for McLaren. It's not a Sports Series, Super Series or Ultimate Series. It's a totally different car to what they've built before. And they saw a gap in the market because they saw what Bentley were doing, what Aston Martin were doing, what Porsche were doing, what Mercedes were doing, and thought, yes, they're all great GT cars, but they're getting heavier and bigger. And I think what they wanted to do was take what is a very, very popular car. I love GT cars. I think they're my favourite cars. I think that setup.
It's your style.
It's my style. But they wanted to give it a bit of a McLaren twist. So this being a car that technically you can drive from London to Monaco on one go and do it in complete comfort and style and luxury. But yeah, you're right, it's mid-engine, so the centre of gravity is completely different to a front-engine car. It's got loads of luggage space, which is quite unconventional for a McLaren, but it's also quite unconventional where the luggage space is, because it's like right there.
It's slightly weirdly shaped luggage space. Yeah. So the per litre, there's a lot of there's a lot of space per se, but I don't know what kind of stuff you can necessarily fit.
Well, do you reckon you could fit? Do you reckon you could fit in there?
I reckon I could fit in there.
All right, I'm going to pull over here and we're going to see if you can fit in there.
I can fit in most boots, to be honest.
Yeah, but can you fit lying down in this boot?
I don't know.
We're about to find out. Right.
Ready?
I'm ready.
This feels so...
Ready?
Piece of cake. Oh wait, no, maybe my ass is going to get flattened.
There we go. It does fit as Seb Delanney.
Yeah, it's nice. This is actually the most comfortable boot I've ever been in.
This weather is absolutely atrocious.
It's horrible. It's not only it's grim, it's grey, it's rainy, but it's cold as well.
Yeah.
Which is irrelevant to you guys. But
yeah, you guys don't care about what it's like. You probably enjoy seeing us suffer. Let's get back into, I think, probably the question everyone wants answered. Everyone wants to understand this car because the 570 GT is still in some showrooms.
Yeah.
The 720S, the breadth of ability on that car makes it so usable on the road, but it's still an out-and-out supercar. So, do you think you could summarise what is the point of the McLaren GT?
I think the McLaren GT is at a much more affordable price point, so you can't really compare it to a 720S, first of all, just based off price, new. And it is just a much more comfortable, much more usable GT long tour or daily driver than a 570S would be. For example, just the front end is so much higher on this car, so you don't need to worry about speed bumps. You've got all the boot space and the setup of the car. It's also new aesthetics. So
which I love.
Yeah, and which you notice a lot more, because when I saw the first press images, I was just like, oh, it's very similar to the others. When you see it for real, there is a big difference, and it's very bulky. It's got good presence. And it just longer, looks. Yeah, it looks bulkier, grown up.
But it's sleek and classy, and I think that is where I would differentiate it away from a 720S, because that was a very disruptive car in terms of looks and stuff. And if you are going to consider a pre-owned McLaren 720S at 160, 170 versus one of these at 160, 170, this is a much classier, sleeker and more refined car that I think if you like arrived at a really nice dinner or restaurant, I feel like in a 720S people will look at that and be like, really? What a show off. Yeah,
maybe potentially. But it's got that, it's still got that sportiness to it though, because it's mid-engine, because it's got the doors that go up and stuff. So it's quite a nice balance actually. So on paper, it maybe doesn't make that much sense, but when you see it, it all kind of starts to come together and you're like, okay, I see what you're trying to do here. Both in looks and in dynamics, it's GT and class, but then it's also got the right dose of sportiness and
which is the McLaren character. What I love about this, as opposed to other McLarens, is the driving position is totally different. We're much further back in the car. We're not sat over the front wheels like we're in a go-kart. Therefore, your immediate mentality of how you're going to drive this car is totally different. So I'm more than happy to cruise around in comfort. The steering's light because it's been totally recalibrated. We've got proactive, very clever dampening system which can predict what the road is going to do based on inputs from the car, which again is very intelligent. So it does make sense, and that's why I was very excited about driving this car, because I wanted to understand it, because one of my favourite cars to drive, and if I did go out and buy a lottery ticket and win the lottery, I would go and buy something like an Aston Martin DBS as my daily driver, because it's so good at being an everyday car that you can just cruise around in complete comfort, style and luxury. So this coming in and disrupting the market is exciting because I love the McLaren brand. I think it is important to say, because a lot of you will probably be thinking, but McLarens depreciate like you wouldn't believe, which is true, but so do Bentley, so do Aston Martin, so do Mercedes. Look at Mercedes AMG GTR is sub 100 grand now. Bentley Continental GTs you can buy for 14 grand on Auto Trader from like back in 2004. And Aston Martins are heavily depreciating. DBSs started at 250, spec'd up. You can buy them on Auto Trader now for 175. So it's not just McLaren. Therefore, of course, you've got to be absurdly rich to be in the position to want to order one of these from new and not really care about the depreciation. This is going to be a car that I will really, really be tempted to buy and own when it's around 100 grand. If you want class, elegance, refinement, fun, and adrenaline in one car,
pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It's a very good package.
And I've done this entire video below 60 kilometers an hour because we've got a dustbin truck in front of us.
Yeah.
But because it's raining, it literally doesn't matter.
Fast
There's nothing that we can do about it, which is a real shame. And McLaren have apologised profusely at the weather, but that's something they can't control. And the last 24 hours have been amazing. Helicopter ride into the hotel. That hotel is actually a privately owned house that you can't book rooms in, you have to hire out the entire house. And that house per night costs 50 grand.
Yep, there you go.
So
3 nights there, buy one of these.
Yeah. It's been a whirlwind 24 hours, but as we start getting onto some tight twisty stuff, as much as I would love to whack it into sport, a track, and really have a hoon, which is what this car is good at, as well as being super comfy, quiet.
It is very quiet.
Yeah.
That's one thing which is noticeable, is how much more silent it is in here than the other McLarens.
What they've actually done with that, without getting too nerdy, is the interior acoustics have been designed intelligently so that it strips out noises you don't want to hear, like road noise, but actually kept noises in that you do want to hear, like the exhaust, which again, it shows that McLaren are going the extra mile and really thinking about just what this car is and who are they targeting. I am definitely developing a McLaren itch, and I think realistically it will be between this and the 720S. So the McLaren GT has been a pleasure. We're driving back to the airport now. We've had some lunch, feeling a little bit more awake, but at the same time I am looking forward to getting home. And McLaren have said that both Seb and I can jump in this car back in England with hopefully better weather than this, because this is not what they intended. Seb's giving it the thumbs up. You enjoyed it, but you prefer the idea of a 911 Turbo S?
No, I don't know, because I haven't driven it back to back, but this suits your driving style really nicely.
Yeah, this is
whereas I'm more 600 LT.
Yeah, so Turbo S probably fits you better than this.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I just think 98% of the way that I drive is normally cruising. So this is probably the perfect McLaren for me, and I will leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Goodbye. Peace out.